searching history for buried classics. This is Lost Treasures of Gaming.
Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome to Lost Treasures of Gaming, brought to you by Gaming History 101 in conjunction with OMGNexus.com. Every week, we sit down and we play a wonderful game that the developers that the Lost Treasures of Gaming podcast had on, and this week they had a special treat for us. Now, he liked to believe that he may be better known as Donkey Kong Dad, and maybe his work with Other Ocean or even Digital Eclipse is well known. But if you've been following game development for a long time, the name Mike Mika should not be new to you. It actually should be quite well known, and I definitely was familiar with it. And while he is known for many things, such as he was known as Donkey Kong Dad because he programmed Daisy to be able to save Mario in Donkey Kong, he's also responsible for a lot of video games over the course of time. One of the most notable games that I didn't even know existed was Dragon's Lair on the Gameboy Color. Believe it or not, they ported it over. Now, that at face value is not that significant, to be honest with you, because Dragon's Lair has come to many systems, including the NES and various other things. The reason it is significant is because they actually had the game itself with the cutscenes and things like that through a bunch of tricks that are talked about in the podcast, whether it be compression and various other things. Anyway, before that, like if you take the NES version of Dragon's Lair, it's a very different game. It tries to turn this cinematic game into a side-scroller. So it's really impressive that the Game Boy Color game actually tried to preserve that. Now, this will become a little more mainstream in the Game Boy Advance, but in the Game Boy Color days, especially weighing in at a whopping 4 megabytes or 8 megabits, which I didn't even know you could get that much space onto a Game Boy Color cartridge, Dragon's Lair is something very special. So we're going to take a look at it today, and of course, Sid has his challenge for me. He wants to see how far I can get. I've played Dragon's Lair a lot, but I decided to save the spectacle. I wouldn't play too much of this Dragon's Lair. I should also point out, in order to get it to show so that it wasn't just me like staring at a Game Boy the whole time and you guys not being able to see what it was or a capture or anything. And in lieu of emulation, I know I've used emulation on this show before, but I try not to whenever possible. This is actually running on a, as you'll see here, maybe I can blow up the screen for a second. This is actually running on a GameCube, running the Game Boy Advance thing. Like if you look here, I'll pop the button. So there we go. So that's to look behind the curtain. This is actually the Game Boy Advance player on the GameCube, but it is there, and that is how we're going to be playing the game tonight. So hopefully the emulation holds up pretty well. But before we get started on any of that, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an intro. Now, it's probably pretty safe to assume everybody is familiar with Dragon's Lair. It's been ported everywhere. It is on your mobile phones. It is on DVD. It is on Steam. It's on every console that's probably ever existed. But just in case you aren't familiar, Dragon's Lair was a Don Bluth animated arcade game from 1983, I believe, that used Laserdisc technology to basically lets you play a cartoon. That's why it was so easy to port to the Game Boy Color. It just needs a D-pad because it just had a 4-way joystick and then a single button for attack. That's all you need for the game, and you're good to go. Now, some versions of the game had little blinkies that would tell you kind of which way you were supposed to go. Other versions of the game didn't. I believe the arcade game did not. But if you were around in those arcade days, there is one thing you will always remember, and that is the wonderful Dragon's Lair track screen. And so as a special treat, I managed to get a capture of this. So here is a capture of the original Laserdisc arcade game. Now remember, this is an arcade game. You could walk into an arcade and see this, which is the spectacle of it all. So here, take a look real quick.
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer finding his way through the castle of a dark wizard who has enchanted it with treacherous monsters and obstacles. In the mysterious caverns below the castle, your odyssey continues against the awesome forces that oppose your efforts to reach the dragon's lair. Lead on, adventurer. Your quest.
All right, so as you can see, it was quite special. It was quite cool. Something I definitely enjoy. But yeah, so that's what you could have expected were you to play Dragon's Lair in the arcade. Now, this Game Boy Color is a bit of something different. Not that I'm complaining, and we will get an opportunity to give this a try. I mean, I guess in the age-old saying, without further ado, let's get this going. So. Let's see here. So you just saw the intro. So let's start off with showing off a little bit of the intro. So I'm going to switch the scene over here to the main screen. But as you can see, it's trying its best to capture that feel that you had from the original arcade game. Now, I have the sound on here, so clearly there's no sound. But the fact that they got like this much into it was really impressive. So let's get going and let's take a look at the game proper. I guess we'll start a tutorial first. It's going to show me what to do. But here we go. As you can see, the sword is like it wants me to attack, and that's how to beat that part. So then we go over here. Now it says I'm supposed to go right. And you want to keep this in mind for yourself for the future. So we jump on the cord. We jump again. We jump again. We jump again. Jump again. And then eventually you make it across. All right, the elusive horse. Oh, I screwed up. I hit the wall. All right, here we go. Another thing that's interesting is... Okay. And what you'll learn about people who play this game is we pretty much memorized the whole thing. That doesn't mean we necessarily do great, but it does mean that we know a lot about it. And if you're hearing a little bit of sync from the sounds to the rooms, there is a little bit of that in the game proper. So that can be part of it. But now, again, it's very easy once you know the directions you're supposed to push, so... Just keep in mind that that's not necessarily a part of it. This is just to let you know. We'll see. We'll get to Lizard King again. Okay, so the training is complete. So now let's do the Ultimate Sid Challenge and see how I do up against the game proper. So here we go. Mike Mika's and his team, Dragon's Lair. Here we go. So... Boom. Got it. And here we go. The other thing I like that this does, which the arcade does, but not every port does, is it switches up the rooms you're in. Ah, I jumped too fast. It switches up the rooms you're in, and it also can reverse them and things like that. Like if you'll see, this is a different room. Boom. Go through the door. Which... That part is really funny because in the arcade, he just goes, boom! All right, made it through there. Yeah. Through the door I go. Yay. Oh, I'm terrible at this part. Yep. And zapped I get. Here we go. Got you, buddy. Oh, picked the wrong direction. Here we go. Oh, this is the straight on going for her. Oh, got sucked through the black hole. And if you've never played Dragon's Lair before, this is pretty much how it went. But you learned through trying stuff. Oh, crud. Yeah, I didn't watch out for the soup monster. All right, well, I got 3,000. Let's see if I can beat that score. All right, here we go. We get started again. This part always starts out the same. You slash, and then the other one you would climb up, but you don't have to do that. And this one's always, dodge off to the right. But then this is where the randomization comes in. Jump through the wall. No. I drank it. All right, you've got to wait for your opportunity to push that direction. All right, this one's up. Attack. Up. Attack. Left. I'll never forget that sequence. This one's just attack and you're good, but I don't think it was that short in the arcade. Oh, they're redoing the 3 doors. Okay. Whoa. I think that was my head he was spinning the cap around on, but let's see. Again, it's just terribly impressive that they captured this game on the Game Boy Color. I still have to say, I'm very pleased I was able to find an actual copy of this. Okay, so it's not left and it's not up. I'll know that for the future. And you do. You kind of just learn these rooms inside and out. Like this one. Okay. That one I'm probably supposed to press up. I tried attack and I tried left. That wasn't right. So anyway, all right, let's give it another go. Going into the main game. Down we go. Slash. Get up. Right. Ah. I'm always tempted to press to the right away, and that's always the wrong way to do it. Okay, get on this guy. This is a dodge motif. Wow. Okay. My reaction time's dropping down. I'm not doing better this time. Oh, the whirlpools. You always want to dodge the whirlpools. You just kind of go the opposite way they are. This part was actually easy, even though it was longer and looked harder. But this is exactly how it was in the arcade. And then there's this part. Oh, I think I was supposed to press up. Here we go. Boop, boop. Oh, I pressed it the wrong time. Usually I don't have that problem with that particular sequence on this Game Boy Color version. Alright, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do there. That was a terrible one. I can't end on that note. No way. Woo! Ah. Alright, I think it starts me off at the beginning of the game. Oh no, it will start me in here. Alright. You have like a timing area where you're supposed to do it in that time. There we go. Yeah. No. Okay, so I'm supposed to press up and then right. I made that mistake before. Okay, up. Attack. Attack. Oh, wrong way. It was a reverse. It was a mirror time. There's times where they mirror the image. Okay, here we go. Alright, my timing is dog terrible on that these days. Alright, let's go with this one. Okay, at least this one I know. The big black boulder. Run. 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 Ah. 2,000. All right, we're going to give this a couple more goes. I'm going to see if I can beat my score of 3,000. Remember, back in the 80s, we were paying $1 a play for this. A steal on the Game Boy Color at this. Plus, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but in the CD iterations of this, you've got terrible load times like almost every time. And this, you don't. So you can jump right back into the action, which is very worthwhile. Why did it drink it? Huh. Well, jump up. Gotcha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Oh, that was a free gimme. Oh no. Yeah, that's the one I never know where to go. Alright, let's go again. I think I waited either too long or not long enough. There we go. That one's a crazy sequence. It's like attack, up, left. It's a weird sequence. Oh, we haven't seen this one before. Oh, and I got jumped by the goblins. 4,000. Alrighty. All right, guys. Well, that is a sneak peek at, or a decent peek at, what Dragon's Lair is all about. But Mike Mika is a fantastic guy in games. Works for currently he's with Digital Eclipse and Other Ocean, as well as many other projects. Some of his more recent stuff you may have played is iDarb, but he's been involved in a lot of things. I'm also actually later on tonight we're gonna be playing the Mega Man Legacy Collection, so we are enjoying that. But a very cool game, and I really got to thank. Well, first of all, Mike Mika for making it, but also Sid and Sean for bringing this to my attention. I seriously did not know this game existed. And then for the first half of the episode, they're talking about it. I'm thinking they're talking about Game Boy Advance, not Game Boy Color. So that was the other part that was really funny, because once I realized it was Game Boy Color, I had to get my hands on this. So through the use of good compression and some crazy animations, they were able to pull this off. So anyway, you can find us here for Lost Treasures of Gaming every Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/GH101. And if you'd like to see our other things, our articles, our videos, we have a really good podcast that people tend to like. You definitely want to go to gaminghistory101.com, or you can just look up Gaming History 101, all lowercase, in whatever podcast feed you'd like. And then, of course, we cannot forget the lovely gentlemen that bring us this show every week, which is Lost Treasures of Gaming. It is a podcast. Shows come out Monday. Sid and Sean are your gaming archaeologists. Well, actually, Sean would probably say Sid is the gaming archaeologist who brings them through interviews with some great devs. And I have been impressed every time they've done a show so far. So definitely check it out, omgnexus.com. And in the meantime, until next week, this is Fred Rojas saying peace out.